development's LNG project different from other industrial expansions across the United States, such as data centers or inland petrochemical facilities? What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, a little bit I know of it. I'm nowhere near as close as Henry is to it. We're about 3 miles away from it in Myrtle Grove, but you know, it's created a lot of nightmare on infrastructure of something this size, the industry. I'm not familiar with too much. Well, of course, we're right close in proximity to Phillips 66, which was the gas refinery for years there until it became non-existent or it's closed since Hurricane Ida. It sustained so much damage that actually Phillips 66 has since sold that project, that property, and Harvest Midstream, which is a wholly owned company, subsidiary of Hillport Corporation. They own that property. Now it's called Harvest Louisiana Terminals, because that is our lease, or we lease property from them for our cattle operation. The LNG plant is, you know, other than, well, not in addition to infrastructure, we don't know what's coming in and out. I had a case the other day. A lot of people don't. I mean, this river is everything for industry. You know, as anybody's traveled up the river, Baton Rouge and Geismar and places like that, it's just inundated with all these chemical plants. And, you know, it's just, I've always been told that if this river shuts down, we're looking at 20 to 30% of this country's, of this economy, the trade in this country comes in that river, you know. And so with the LNG plant, we don't know what's coming out of it. It's big money politics, in my opinion, as well. I think it's just, you know, they have control. I mean, look what they're doing in Cameron, and I've heard nightmares of Cameron and Hackberry. What happened over there to the local commercial, you know, fishermen and the local communities in that area. And now it's the second construction site is Cameron Project 2 over there in Cameron area. So, and we're fixing to start another, well, you know, expansion, they're calling it now. It was supposed to be another plant, but of course, because of permitting and all the bells and whistles that have to supposedly be done, they decided to call it an expansion instead of a new construction. So they don't have to go through the same reporting and permitting phases, is my understanding. I don't know the legalities of all those things, but that's, I guess in layman's terms, that's what I understand of it. And we're gonna be inundated again with infrastructure. And then also, there's always the issue of what's coming in and out. And not 2 weeks ago, I raised the question to a friend of mine, and to a family member, why, you know, I was going up the highway, and of course the LNG vessels are right there at the plant. They come in and they turn and they dock up and they load and unload. You know, not unload, they load and they leave. Well, traveling up toward the city, toward Belchase, I noticed one of the LNG vessels sitting in an anchorage on the river. If you're not familiar with it, is an area zone in the waterway that's designated for all these commercial vessels, ships mainly, that they can go on anchor and sit and wait. Well, this vessel traveled several miles, or 3 or 4 or 5 miles north of the LNG plant. Well, why is that necessary? Why did that vessel have to, when there's an anchorage south of where you have to, your normal shipping traffic is going to go anyway, where you're going to turn, you're going to make your turn, and you're going south. You know, I don't understand any need of extending the dangers to community by going even further into it. So what does that do? But then again, I was told, well, you know, just think about